Hi everybody, this is Ospreyeye from mychartcoach.com, and we're going to take a look at some of the stocks that were in play today. Okay, first up, let's take a look at INNL. Okay, yeah, we put it out an alert today showing the chart. It was up, trading up all day today. It did close up 42% on the day. And then we found out after hours why it was running. The rumors were circulating about a potential buyout. So this news came out afterwards. You go ahead and check that out. You can Yahoo search that. And basically the share price ran after hours, and so it closed up at 295 in after hours trading, and so that's putting it up here near the 200-day simple moving average, which is at 348. And so that's going to be the next key level to break. There's going to be a gap up open. As you can see, the close here today was at 182. The reason why we were interested today in INNL was because of the break above the 100-day simple moving average. That's this gold line. The break above that level today was signaling more upside potential, so we were looking for a close above that. And then the next key level to break was going to be this closing price here on the what is that, the 16th of March. And so that's the key level to break. It looks like that's going to break tomorrow with the gap up open, and so there's likely to be a space in the chart. So tomorrow, bulls, you're going to want to see a break above 348. If the share price hits 348 and pulls back, you could see a pullback with the candles working back into the bands and fill the gap. If the share price breaks above the 200-day simple moving average, then we're going to be looking at the 300-day simple moving average at 517 is the next target. As you can see, the 200s lined up with this resistance back here in November. This was a key resistance level, and so that's going to be a key level to break. And then if you look back here, this was trying to hold support back here. It's going to turn into resistance. These are prior support levels, that become resistance when tested. And so if you can get past this zone here from November, then you're looking at a push up here into these previous zones, in October, and putting the 300-day simple moving average on deck. So there is juice to run on Fasto and RSI. This basically, it's just going to see what kind of juice this has with the good news that came out. If you notice, there was a parabolic SAR bullish flip. This big volume spike here, back after the gap down, that was the load. This was a signal that traders loaded for a potential move higher. And then when you saw the big volume spike here, this was a signal that it was really in play. Notice that was accompanied with the break above the 50-day simple moving average. When you get a break above the 50-day simple moving average, that signals more upside. Same thing with the 100. So yeah, nice move today. You got bull crosses on both MACD time frames. All right, let's look at another one. This is SHIP, SHIP. This really got moving today as well. If you look here, there was a gap up open. So there was this bullish open above the middle Bollinger Band. That's this dotted purple line. Notice how it had been resistance. There was this long downtrending channel for the last several months. And then today, there was finally a break above the top of the channel, which is this red descending resistance line. And then also a break above the 50-day simple moving average, which is the green line here. So this was the bullish move we had been looking for. What needs to happen is the green line needs to hold. The 50-day simple moving average needs to hold, turn into support along with the top of the previous channel, and that would set up a push to the 100-day simple moving average at 143. That's our next target if support holds. On a pullback, you could see the gap fill, and what bulls want to see is the middle Bollinger Band hold. That's currently at 0.86, and so as long as candles stay above the middle Bollinger Band, a new uptrend should begin. So that's the big level that this was on. The move today was on a very big volume spike. Notice the big volume behind the move. So that signals more upside potential. If you can get above the 100-day simple moving average, which is lined up here with this previous channel, this previous sideways channel, and then also the gap. There's a gap back here. This is the bottom of the gap level. So it's the bottom of the gap and the 100-day simple moving average. If you can get above those levels, then we could be looking at a potential gap fill and a run up to the 200-day simple moving average and the top of the gap. So that's the target. If it can get above this bottom of the gap level, there is also another, the key level to break will be the top of this candle here. On here back here in December, and so the gap did partially fill here. This is the bottom of the gap. This is the top of the gap, and so yeah. So this looks like this could break out, and we could potentially get a gap fill here, on this move. So keep an eye on SHIB. We'll see if it can finally follow through. We've got RSI with more juice to run. Same thing with FASTO. Neither one are at overbought levels. Notice the bull cross on ADX. The green line crossing the red and black lines to the upside. That signal bulls have taken control. Yeah, so this is a really nice looking setup here for more upside. Okay, let's look at CYCC. Okay, this is a stock that made a very bullish 2-day move. It heated up. I wouldn't necessarily say heated up, but it started off with the first white candle last Friday on no volume, but then the real bullish move was yesterday with this bullish volume spike, and then this move above the moving averages, above the 50, 100, 200, and 300-day simple moving average. The close above all those levels was a signal that there was more upside potential, and there was, with another big gap up open today, and a run all the way up to 11 bucks, and then it pulled all the way back, forming this very long upper wick. And then notice that the low of day, it ran all the way down here near 7, but then ran all the way back up off low of day, forming this very small real candle body. And so the small real candle body, accompanied with the long upper and lower wicks, this is an indecision candle. This is a spinning top, and it signals that potentially a bearish pattern could form tomorrow. Generally, when this pattern forms, notice the upper Bollinger Band is way down here at 642, and normally the candles will work back into the bands. So, we're expecting CYCC to consolidate here. The long upper wick, accompanied with the volume spike, that signals profit taking. Okay, so this is still a very bullish chart. It just looks like maybe it's getting a little bit ahead of itself. RSI is up here at 81. The positive on the pullback is FASTO did correct, and it's all the way down here at 64, so it is not overbought. You never know. This could keep pushing higher. You just got to watch and see what happens. If the candles do work into the bands, then the first support level is going to be down here at EMA4 at 609. That's going to be the key level to hold. Okay, so yeah, a very, very bullish move. It just looks like maybe it's getting a little bit ahead of itself. Okay, let's look at CIAL. Okay, this is another stock that made a very bullish multi-day move. And this one heated up just like CYCC on Monday, and then it followed through today with this another big white candle. And then notice the big push above the 300, 50, 200, and 100-day simple moving averages. The 100 was intraday, it had broken, and then it pulled back. It failed to close above that level. It did close above the 200 here, and so that's going to be the key level to hold. In order to head higher, it's got to break above the 300 or the 100-day simple moving average at 303 and close above that level. If it does that, then you could be talking about a run to test back up here near this 4 level. That'll be the next resistance zone. It's around 390. You've got the bottom. You've got this previous channel that will become resistance, and it will need to break through this to head higher. Notice that's around 335 and then close to 390. Those are two big resistance zones to break on the upside if it can get past the 100-day simple moving average. If the candles do pull back, then you want to see these moving averages turn into support. Notice the upper Bollinger Band's way down here at 226. So this was a big close above the upper Bollinger Band. Many times when that happens, the candles have to work back into the bands. If that happens, the big level is going to be this 300-day simple moving average. Really want to see that hold in EMA4. As long as candles stay above the middle Bollinger Band, this new uptrend should continue. CALI just has some work to do. Always be careful on these kind of plays where the average daily volume is very low. Yeah, if you look down here at the volume bars, very, very low volume, and then there's a spike yesterday, and then a big spike today with the long upper wick. The long upper wick here off of high of day, accompanied with with this big volume bar, that signals profit taking and possibly dilution. The company could have sold some shares on that spike. Not sure, I didn't check it out, but that's what it looks like on the chart. Okay, now let's take a look at OXIS. Okay, this is an over-the-counter medical marijuana company that is really heated up today. If you look here, it was in this very long downtrend, see the downtrending channel, and there was a break today above the top of the channel and the middle Bollinger Band, which is the dotted purple line. They're all at 0.02. So the close today was very bullish. We're looking for a potential new uptrend to start. Okay, this also had some good news today. So it has a catalyst to head higher. There was a PSAR bullish flip down here. Yeah, this is a chart that we posted on our website. On the marijuana and news marijuana news and charts section of the website. So I recommend for people that are trading marijuana sector stocks to please look at that section of the website. Every day we're posting new information, new charts, and we're introducing new plays to people in the sector, along with plays that are hot. And so it's going to be a good place to go to stay up to date on the sector. Okay, so this is a big move above the middle Bollinger Band. What we're looking at now is the 50-day simple moving average at 0.04. Notice the close was right at the upper Bollinger Band. Okay, so that's the top of the upper Bollinger Band channel. What we want to see is the middle Bollinger Band turn into support, and then candles right EMA support higher. The key level to bust through first is going to be the upper Bollinger Band, and then it needs to close above the 50-day simple moving average. If it can do that, then we'll be talking about a potential run up to the 100-day simple moving average. So if the candles fail to bust through resistance on a pullback, we just want to see the middle Bollinger Band hold. As long as it holds, a new uptrend should begin. So yeah, this chart is really heating up. Notice there was a bull cross on 80X. Fasto is now overbought levels, but you have RSI here just breaking above 50 at 56. There's a ton of room until 70, which is the overbought level. So yeah, so keep an eye on OXIS. If you look at the 15-minute chart, you'll see here that the bullish move took place today on the news. So the news came out, some FDA type news, and then it broke through the moving averages. Notice this first candle here. This is your clue that the stock is heating up. There was the candles on the previous day were below the middle Bollinger Band, and then they closed on the first candle of the day above the middle Bollinger Band, the 50 and the 100-day simple moving average on a volume spike. That's your signal that it's in play. And then once this candle formed above the 300-day simple moving average, that was your signal that it was ready to head higher. As long as this level held, when it held and then there was a break above, that was a signal that was going to keep pushing. So it's always the break above the 50-day simple moving average that's a signal that the 15-minute chart is in play and heating up. So yeah, this is a very sweet breakout. What we want to see now is a break above this 0.035 resistance. If that can happen, then it should continue heading higher. It needs to hold the middle Bollinger Band at 0.027. If that breaks, you can see the 50 simple moving average is way down here at 0.09. Okay, yeah, so yeah, cool move by OXIS. We're looking for a new uptrend on the daily chart and for the good times to continue. Okay, let's look at GBSN. This is another OTC play. It used to be on the big boards. Notice over here it was up 208% today, huge winner. We do cover over-the-counter stocks, so just keep in mind that when the big boards are under pressure or they're trading sideways and they're not moving much, there's a lot of good, a lot of good plays on the over-the-counter. And with over-the-counter, they pick a few plays, a day, a week to run, and we know how to identify it and locate those plays. So, if you want to be able to check out over-the-counter stocks, please check out our website and our chat. We discuss them all through the trading day, and we post charts and technical analysis that you're not going to find on other websites. Okay, so check this out. We've got a multi-day run here. This is a 3-day run for Gibson. Boy, all those people back when it was on the big board sure would have liked to see this run, but now it's doing it on the OTC, and as you can see here, it's below a penny. It's at 0.071. The next big level to break is going to be this high close here, just above about a penny and a half. But the thing is that penny land is always a big resistance level for stocks that are trading in double O's. So it's going to need to break through 0.01 in order to head higher. That's going to be the big level to turn into support. If it does, then this is going to be the next big resistance zone. As you can see here, you've got the 100-day simple moving average is all the way up here at $1.62. So there's not much resistance past the 50-day simple moving average as far as moving average resistance. We'll just be going by the different closes. So high close or low close horizontal resistance. And so going forward, as long as the candles stay above the middle Bollinger Band, and actually we're looking at the 50-day simple moving average as the big level to hold, as long as it stays above that level, there will be more upside potential. So keep an eye on GBSN. There's huge volume behind the move. Look at all the volume. It was the big moneymaker on the OTC today. If you look here, you can see there was a whopping $3.46 million traded today. You know, OXIS, that's the marijuana stock I was talking about. It closed up a whopping 184% today. It traded 1.2 million. So there is liquidity on these OTC stocks if you know which ones to find. This is OTCmarkets.com. I recommend checking this out. I have a strategy for how to find these plays. If you're interested in that, look it up on our YouTube channel. It's on there and on our website. Okay, so yeah, let's get back to the charts here, and let's see here. Let's look at the next one is going to be, so we looked at Gibson. Gibson is doing good. We'll just see if it can continue the uptrend. For a stock like GBSN, though, the one thing you need to be worried about if you are going to trade that is it's always a risk to hold overnight, because they could do a reverse split, or they could do an offering, you know, to offer to sell shares. So usually they're their own worst enemy. They usually kill stocks like GBSN, usually kill the rallies themselves by issuing some sort of bad news. So as long as there's no bad news out of the company, then the rally could continue, the uptrend could continue. It's usually going to be something about financing that's going to crush the deal, crush the run. So yeah, but what our saying is there are no bad stocks. There are only bad entry and exit points. So even though it's a piece of junk, it's making people big money right now. So don't hate it. Just trade it. Okay, look, this is IGC. This is the other. This is a new marijuana company on that trades on the big boards. So that's pretty cool. This trades on the Amex, and this had been in a very nice uptrend, and it still is. There's still a nice uptrend going. What happened was yesterday there was a close above the upper Bollinger Band. So notice the upper Bollinger Band is the solid purple line. Look at previous big closes above the upper Bollinger Band. Like here's a close above the upper Bollinger Band, a red candle followed, and it worked its way back into the bands. You know, same thing with right here. You know, worked its way back into the bands after the candle formed above the upper Bollinger Band. So this is just normal to have the candles working their way back into the bands. As long as support holds in the pullback, then the uptrend should continue. Currently, we'd like to see EMA4 at 53 hold. That would be the most bullish. Very, very strong stocks, right? EMA4 support higher, so that would be the most bullish. You know, the one concerning thing, you know, that we have to keep in mind here is this the upper wick that formed on today's candle. So you've got this big upper wick off of high of day, off of 80, and then a giant red volume bar formed. And generally for penny stocks, when that happens, that's usually a sign of dilution, like a company's dumping shares, or at the very least, it's big profit taking. And so it closed below the open after pulling back in high of day. That's usually a very bearish signal. And so it could get some consolidation going, like back here. You know, that's a similar candle, similar setup, but notice the volume bar was much smaller. So it was a big dump today. So there was a giant dump. We just want to see, though, this uptrend continue. Once again, these penny stocks are their own worst enemy, and it's usually their financing that kills the run. So as long as the company doesn't kill the run with some kind of bad news, you know, support holds here. As long as the middle Bollinger Band, and you want to see this 200 is the red, 200-day simple moving average is the red line. The blue line is the 300-day simple moving average. As long as those hold along with the middle Bollinger Band, then this uptrend should continue. Okay, so you know, we welcome pullbacks because it gives you a chance to lock in profits and then reload lower. So you notice that Fasto reset here. It's down here at 52, and then you still have RSI up here above 70. MACD line is starting to hook, but notice it was still very bullish, and you still have PSAR with the dots well below the candles. Okay, so let's look at the IGC weekly chart. And so when the stock, because it has been breaking out on the daily chart, even though it took a pause today, what we like to do is look at the weekly chart for the next resistance levels, and this is showing where this is showing what IGC needs to do to head higher and where the current resistance is at. And so if you look here, it's hitting this July 2016 high close. This is what we call high close horizontal resistance. It's going to need to close above that level, and that's also lining up with back here in 2015 April high close. And that level was tested right here as well. And so this is a really big resistance zone for the stock, and that is currently also lined up with the 200-week moving average at 63. And so notice how there was a break above that level, then it pulled back below. So going forward, since IGC is breaking out on the daily chart, what we really want to see is for this break above resistance on the weekly chart, where we're looking for a weekly close above the 200-week moving average, which is the red line, to signal more upside potential. When that happens, that's when the 300-week moving average, $1.22, and the dollar level will be on deck. But first, it's got to break this 200-week moving average. That's a huge resistance level. Back here, it's turned the middle Bollinger Band into support. It turned the 100-week moving average and the 50-week moving average into support. So as long as those levels hold and the candles are forming above the middle Bollinger Band, this uptrend should continue. But if it stalls out above at this 200-week moving average level, the share price could pull back, and then you could see down here you've got this conjunction of moving averages, and basically what you really want to see is the 50-week moving average currently at 40 hold on a pullback. But let's see if it can bust through resistance. This candle will not set until Friday at the close, so it will change. And so weekly candles do not set until Friday at the close. So we're looking at a weekly chart in the middle of the week. A lot can change between now and then. So currently it is below the 200-week moving average. That is the key level to break. There is room to run on the RSI. It is not at oversold levels. Same thing with Fasto. It corrected on the pullback. It was at overbought levels and it corrected. You've got a pretty parabolic move on ADX with plus DI pushing really hard. Many times when you get a spike to a peak level, many times it signals a top. Like back here, notice how when it gets to an extreme low level, that this is lining up with the top, and so it's not quite there yet, but it's almost there. So it's pushing hard. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. There is what we like about this move and what's going on here is the volume behind the move, because there's big volume that it looks like people loaded down here, and it's been played with increasing volume as the share price is heading higher. That's always a good sign. Just as long as they're not diluting so hard. Notice that this is the biggest weekly volume since all the way back here in 2014. So what we like to do is follow the money. Follow the money. That usually leads to the pot of gold. And right now the money is pouring into this play, into IGC. So keep an eye on it. Okay, so yeah, just for OTC play that had some money flow, check it out down here. They had 600 million shares traded today. This is a total piece of junk. It closed at 0.006. It's a 000 play. Keep an eye on it. If it breaks above 0.0006 and has a close above that level, it could break out higher. There's a little bit of resistance at 0.007, but as you can see back here, the stock ran really hard from this level in the past, and a lot of times these stocks repeat these types of patterns, and the big volume is signaling more upside potential. So yeah, just keep an eye on it. It's a total piece of junk and very, very risky to trade. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, check us out at mychartcoach.com and our YouTube channel at mychartcoach.com, and please join us in our chat. We like to share all this information during the trading day, and we have lots of alerts and educational information and a lot of information that doesn't get out into the videos and onto other websites. Okay, so thank you.